So the NBA has got their free agency, the majority of it, the meat and potatoes of the free agency out of the way, and you have players changing uniforms. You got Dwayne Wade coming to the Bulls. You got Al Horford going to the Celtics, and this guy going here, Dwight Howard going here, but the biggest splash, for lack of a better word, is Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about that, and I'll share mine. But you try to be as subjective as possible. You try to just say, look, it is what it is. On one hand, you have people say, well, he got tired of losing there in OKC. Then you have other people saying, well, it was a whole move on his part. If you can't beat him, join him, and all this other stuff. Now, this stuff has been going on for longer than people would like to remember, or if you're just not that knowledgeable of how the NBA works. Every decade, you tend to have a super team. There are super teams every decade. It happened in the 60s with those Boston Celtics teams. You know what I mean? It happened in the 60s with those Boston Celtics teams when they had Cousy and Bill Russell and other guys, Sam Jones, Casey, they had all those guys on that team. Celtics were notorious for doing it. Think about the 1980s. The 80s were predominantly all about the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. And you had one year that the 76ers won it, and then you had towards the end of the decade in 89 where the Detroit Pistons won it. But every other year, it was about the Celtics and the Lakers. I was too young to remember if people were complaining about it, but people looked forward to it. They damn sure look forward to it. And I said that to say this: you have rules in place. I mean, the NBA, they have rules in place. I mean, hell, they even changed rules to allow people to, teams to keep their players, i.e. the bird rights, which is designed because of Larry Bird, where the Celtics were able to go over the salary cap to keep their star player. That's where the bird rights come into. So a lot of people may or may not know that. So I said that to say this: the NBA has and always will have super teams. That's just what it is. Like I said before, the Lakers, they had Magic, they had Worthy, they had Kareem, the league's all-time leading scorer, had Byron Scott and the other guys that would take less money just to play with that team. The Boston Celtics had the best front court of all time in NBA history with Bird, Parrish, and McHale. And then they had Dennis Johnson. They had other guys. They even had, at one point, Bill Walton on that team, along with other players too. So, I mean, it's been going on since forever. And like I said before, a lot of people may or may not, remember it. If they do, they just don't want to talk about it because this is such the hot topic. It's such a sexy topic to talk about and get all over Kevin Durant's case. And then the first thing people do, they compare it with the LeBron James situation. Now, I've never been one to defend LeBron James, but I will say this. When LeBron James was losing to Boston and losing to Orlando and stuff like that, he didn't have the team that Kevin Durant had in OKC. Even though, yeah, they ended up with the best record in the league and all that, this, that, and the third. That doesn't excuse it. But to a degree, when your second best player is Mo Williams, I mean, come on now. It makes a point. And then him and his friends elected to play together. And through the terms of the collective bargaining agreement that players and everybody else signed for it, he had that right to go and switch teams. I just felt like it was a whole move the way he did it, doing it on television, and nobody else knew until that TV special came on. But that's neither here nor there. Kevin Durant did it, in a more respectable way. I just felt like with him, it's like, why would you go to the team that just beat you? It's kind of crazy. It's like Isaiah Thomas saying, "Yo, we can't get past Boston. I'm gonna go to the Boston Celtics." Or Michael Jordan saying, "Yo, we can't get past Detroit, so I'm gonna go play for the Detroit Pistons." There's players that don't do that. You just don't do that. And I heard what Reggie Miller said. He stayed in a small market all his career. He never won it though. He got to the finals once, but he never won it. Respect for him for that. Isaiah Thomas, was kind of like, you know, saying the same thing I just said previously about, you know, joining this person or joining that person. I seen Larry Bird going on record saying, I never wanted to go play with Magic. I could not see myself doing that. And then you had Charles Barkley, who a lot of times I agree with, and I respect the man for speaking his mind, but he let some stupid shit come out of his mouth sometimes. This dude went on record by saying, I didn't like the fact that he went over here and he did this, or he went to this team, to the team that just beat him. Well, fun fact, Charles Barkley did the exact same thing. He couldn't get past the Houston Rockets, and what did he do? He forced his way right out of town and went to the Houston Rockets, and it didn't work. That's the reason why, you know, nobody really mentions it, because he didn't win. And at some point it's got to be like, okay, maybe it's something wrong with you. You went over there and you didn't win, so maybe it's you. So that's how you look at it. All right, so in closing, I just want to talk about the state of the actual NBA. The fact that the game has changed so much, and this game didn't just recently change. That game started changing when David Stern elected to send the pro athletes over to the Olympics in 1992. Those foreign guys, like, they were constantly getting their ass beat, so they thrived on trying to play like us. The game has gotten so watered down now that this NBA, the US game, is starting to play like the European game with the small ball. And stop thinking that Golden State invented small ball. That stuff been going on since, hell, the old Phoenix Suns with Jason Kidd and Kevin Johnson, and Rex Chapman was running a 3-man rotation. So that's just my personal opinion, man. Y'all can let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.